Recognize the next speaker from Oshawa.
Thank you. It is always an honour to stand in this proud legislature, and today it is my honour to stand to share on behalf of Ontario's New Democrats and to pay tribute to Allan Furlong. I am pleased to acknowledge Allan's family and friends today on behalf of the legislature. Allan was a loving husband and father, brother, grandfather, and great friend to many people. He leaves behind his wife Mary, his children Katie and Michael, and his partner Meredith, and his 6 grandchildren, Abby, Luke, Danielle, Zach, Ainsley, Emerson, and great-granddaughter, Amelia. Allan is survived by his brother Wayne, his wife Deirdre, brother Gary, his wife Suzanne, and his sister Carol, and her husband Andre. When we pay tribute to former MPPs, it is a chance to remember them, to recognize their work, and celebrate their lasting impact. It is my honour to share a few words today on behalf of the official opposition and my home community of Oshawa, the community that Allan Furlong loved and served and called home. Allan Joseph William Furlong was born January 26, 1942, and grew up in Rouyn-Noranda, Quebec. He loved hockey from the very beginning, and that love never left him. He played varsity hockey for 3 years, earning the nickname Bullet Furlong, and was inducted into the University of New Brunswick's Hockey Hall of Fame. His first experience in government affairs occurred when he worked for the Treasury Board of the Government of New Brunswick at a job which began his law journey, and he returned to university to attend law school. Allan met his wife of 56 years, Mary, at the University of New Brunswick. Allan and Mary left New Brunswick and moved to Oshawa. Allan joined the law firm of Salmers and Furlong, and that was where he settled into community life and politics. Allan was elected in 1987 in David Peterson's Liberal sweep. He was the first to represent the newly created Durham Centre riding, which was the Whitby-Oshawa area. As reported then, quote, Durham Centre was expected to be a tough three-way fight between the trio of first-time candidates, but Furlong led from the first poll and never looked back. It was obvious less than an hour after the polls closed that he was going to be an easy winner, end quote. During his time at Queen's Park, Allan was a dynamic voice for education, bilingualism, and local transportation, and served on the standing committees of government agencies, regulations and private bills, and general government. Additionally, he was very proud of his meaningful work on the Select Committee for Education and chaired the Select Committee on Constitutional and Intergovernmental Affairs. Allan advocated for his constituents in his riding and got to see the GO train extended to Whitby and then later to Oshawa. And personally, as someone who's been advocating to get the GO train to Bowmanville for the last 11 years, I wish I could ask him about the transit successes from back then. In the late 80s, Canada was going through an important and very challenging time in its story. Here we are during today's moment in time, again reflecting deeply on what unites us as Canadians in the face of division. I traveled back in time to Hansard of 1988 and pulled some thoughtful words from MPP Furlong on the topic of constitutional reform in Canada. From Mr. Furlong, quote, I spent the first 20 years of my life in a northwestern mining community in Quebec. I spent the next 10 years in the province of New Brunswick and the most recent 16 years in Ontario. I have had an opportunity to travel extensively in every province. I have established close friendships with many people in different parts of the country and have had the opportunity to hear their views, not only on Meech Lake, but on a host of other national issues. It will come as no surprise that views and opinions vary from region to region, but my experience convinced me of one thing: we all want a united Canada, end quote. And I think that's still true. The election of 1990 was a change election, and Allan Furlong passed the torch for Whitby-Oshawa's Durham Centre riding to Drummond White of the NDP. And Allan made the adjustment from public servant to public, but still served. Allan continued to keep his eye on politics and stayed very involved in his community. Allan was elected president of the Oshawa and District Association for Community Living for several years, was appointed chairman of the Oshawa Harbour Commission, and served as president of the Oshawa Golf Club, where he was also an active member for 45 years, and served on the Police Services Board for 10 years. He was honoured to be appointed to the Board of Governors of the new University of Ontario Institute of Technology and served for 6 years. And with all of this community involvement, he still found time for his love of hockey and community and played 25 years of old-timers hockey. Allan Furlong was 83 when he passed on February 27, 2025. Al took his family and so many wonderful friends on his journey of community service and connection. When it comes to legacies, it is clear that Allan Furlong has left the best kind. His is a legacy of true service and love for community. Oshawa and Ontario are ever grateful to Allan Furlong for his life of service, invested heart, and commitment to the community he loved. Thank you, Al Furlong.